Okay, so in lesson one, we are interpreting negative numbers. Let's take a look at the learning target and success criteria. The learning target, we are learning how to simplify integer expressions and apply integer rules. And success criteria is I can add and subtract integers. I can identify and apply integer rules. I can evaluate integer operations using real world applications. So the first part of the warm up, you're going to spend the first 5 minutes. Okay, so the first 5 minutes of the warm up, you guys are going to go ahead and copy the learning target and success criteria. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and complete the warm up questions. So we have a thermostat over here on the right hand side. It's asking you to fill in the thermostat and then answer the question below. So the first question says, what number go in the box? So I will go ahead and just write in your answers for the three missing degrees, or should I say, yeah, degrees. And then finally, question two is asking what temperature does the thermostat show? So then you're just going to write all the answers that you came up with for the first question. The learning goals and learning targets is similar to ours. Okay, so let's take a look at our word bank. We have positive numbers. Remember, a positive number is any number greater than zero. We have negative numbers, which is on the left side of the number line, which is numbers less than zero, include -1, -2, -3, and goes to infinity. Absolute value is always going to be positive because all it's asking about is the distance. It doesn't matter which direction. So the example they give you is -7 and 7. So the absolute value of -7 is still 7 because they're asking the distance in regards to the number line. And then finally, looking at the first assignment outside of the warm up, the first thing you're going to do, question one, it says, what is the temperature shown on each thermostat or thermometer? I will go ahead and fill in A, B, C, and D to write your temperatures there. Then the second question says, which thermometer shows the highest temp? So once you have each answer or each solution for the thermometers, you're going to tell me which one has the highest degree. Then question three says, which one shows the lowest temperature? So again, you would go through A through D at each set and figure out which one has the lowest or is reading the lowest degree. And then question four says, suppose the temperature outside is -4 degrees. The question is that colder or warmer than the coldest degree? So remember that three is asking for the lowest temperature, which in context means that it's the coldest. So compared to your answer for three, is -4 warmer or colder than the answer that you came up with for three? The next question says, is -4 or -3 farther below zero? And how does this help you determine? So the one thing I would definitely do for this example is to draw a number line. My computer is moving slow. I don't know why it's taking so long just to pop up a number line, but I would draw a number line here, and then I would plot -4 and -3, and they're asking you which one is farther below zero. So I would plot -4, -3, and the number zero, and then answer that question. It says, how does it help us determine which number is greater? And then it says, this one asks you, how would you say this particular statement? So in this one, it's asking us what would be another way to describe the zero position in this image. So you're looking in context of this line right here. So looking at this line where zero is, what's another way to describe that? And I will give you guys a hint for that during class time today if you can't figure out the solution. But looking at this picture, we have different animals between 10 and -10, and they're asking you the zero position. How would you describe that? So now it's the same diagram, but it's asking you a different question. So here's a picture that shows sea animals. The number line on the left shows the vertical position of each animal above or below sea level in meters. How far above or below sea level is each of these animals? Measure to your eye level. So you're going to look at each of the individual animals compared to the number line on the left, and you're just going to guesstimate what the distance is. And I would just go ahead and write it in each on the actual diagram. So, for example, the octopus is at -10. I'm guessing this is a bird or a seagull. This one is at +10. Um, the penguin is at zero. And again, you would just go through and place the numerical value for each of the animals compared to the number line. Once you have filled in the numerical values, you're going to answer these questions 2 through 5 regarding the animals. And again, this is asking the same set of questions regarding the same diagram. Now, this set of questions, I'm going to go ahead and put an X through because we will not be using this. So ignore these set of questions because I'm not giving out a set of cards. We will not be using that. All right, looking at the next slide. Again, you can ignore this one as well. It's again asking about the solar card, so we're not doing this particular activity. So these two that's asking about the activity, we're not actually going to do. Ignore that. So now we're looking at the lesson synopsis or the lesson synthesis. They're again asking you which number is greater, -7 and -12. Which number has the greatest magnitude between 7 and -12. Magnitude is talking about distance. My hint here will be using the absolute value. And this is how can we order negative numbers. So on a number line, this is my hint for this one. How do you order negative numbers? On a number line from left to right, which way does the negative numbers go? And then finally, we have the cool down. And again, they gave us a set of numbers. My suggestion would be to convert all of these into decimals to make it a little bit easier. They want you to order the numbers from least to greatest. And then it's asking you for question 2, if these numbers represent temperatures in degrees Celsius, which one is colder? Again, your solution would be whatever you put as the smallest value. And then finally, question 3, it says, if these numbers represent elevation in meters, what is the farthest away from the sea level? So whether you're going left or right, remember that the sea level is 0. So they're asking you which number is farthest away from 0. And again, it can either be positive or negative. The asynchronous work, if you are doing a PowerPoint, you're going to complete these 3 slides. And if not, you're going to complete the assignment that is embedded within the packet. And that's pretty much lesson 1. If you have any additional questions, you feel free to ask me during class time or send me a message through Verge.